So I finally have shed testing back on this male. Unfortunately, he is not het for black xanthic or TSK xanthic, but what that actually means is that he's getting released for sale. This guy is one of a kind. Nothing like him has ever been sold on Morph Market. The only other one that I'm aware of is the one that I'm actually keeping, which did prove out to be het black xanthic or het TSK xanthic, which is a giant upgrade for me in this project. This was bred into the black xanthic hypopide project. It's something that I purchased originally from Canova, the original sire. This male came from that pairing to that male paired to a hypopide female. And he is just extremely a one-of-a-kind snake. The colors, the purples, the grays on his head are honestly one of a kind. I've never seen another snake like that, and they're really probably not even coming up very well in this photo because my camera seems to be wanting to keep changing like the color palettes a little bit, though. I'm trying to keep him kind of in the middle here in the brown cocoa, which helps keep the colors a little better, if you can see that there. Just a truly one-of-a-kind snake. I am really excited to sort of release this and kind of show people this project a little bit more. So this pairing only produced 4 eggs, but I got 4 snakes out of it that are terrific. Both of these males are identical. It's just that one of them proved out TSK xanthic, and this one didn't, which obviously makes him less useful to me in that project, which is why he's being released. But even without the het black xanthic or het TSK xanthic, he's just a completely unique snake and probably the only one you're going to see. I've never seen one before other than the ones I produced. He's very active here. I'm trying to keep him in the light so you can see his cool little head. His nose there is actually getting darker as he ages. You can see how dark purple it is compared to the rest of his head. That started probably a couple months into life. After he hatched, I think probably within 3-4 months, that started getting darker and darker and darker on the tip of his nose, which is pretty neat. He was actually born in August of 2023, so he's almost a full year old. He is very friendly. He's about 700 grams already, or a little over 700 grams already, so he's basically at breeding size at this point. So he's a fantastic opportunity for somebody to buy into what I consider to be a pretty high-end project. My goal with this season is actually to take his brother and breed him into a pinstripe hypopide to try to hopefully bring back more pattern, less white, more pattern into the pied project. He's also going to be bred back into the black xanthic project, and I'm probably going to breed him to a hypo clown pied project and try to mix all those things together. But it's insane what some of these pairings can do. I never would have thought when I took that male and just bred him to a plain hypopide female that these 2 males were going to pop out of here and give me this sort of kind of genetic mastery. I never imagined this would have popped out of there. So he is available now. I posted him on Morph Market on Friday. He's getting quite a bit of views and clicks. It's a high price point, so it's not going to be something that everybody is going to be able to even kind of sniff at, but it's definitely picking up a lot more interest than most other snakes are. I think typically, click rate on ads so far in Morph Market from what I've seen are, in the 1, 2, 3% of views, views versus clicks. And he's up over 10% at this point. So he's a fantastic snake. I can't really tell you how excited I am to be able to release him at this point. I think he's going to basically be one of one that you're going to ever see. There has not been one on Morph Market before, and the only other one I'm aware of is the one that I'm keeping. So he's fantastic. I really wish he would have proved out TSK Black Xanthic, because that would have been a bigger ticket item. But he's so cool. He's very cool. He has a great temperament as well. So I'm sure he's going to be a fantastic breeder for somebody. I'm not sure with an animal with this ticket price how long it's going to take to sell. It could be one of those things where somebody could jump on it right away once they see it. And my whole goal with it really is to sort of spotlight it a lot, because this is one of those things where it's not one of those projects where everybody's breeding it. It's not one of those projects where it's coming from the top down. I love what Justin does, but if Justin says something's popular, then it immediately becomes popular. Everybody starts doing it, and then it floods the market, and then that specific project basically loses a lot of its value within a year or two. This is not that, in my opinion. When you start working on a project like this, where I had no idea this was going to pop out of this egg last year, well, I kind of proved out that this is an awesome looking snake. He's an adult, and this color stayed there. Now, the next steps are to try to bring more pattern back into this combo, to try to get some more saddles, to try to even make it darker. And I can actually show you then what my next plans are, because so two of the snakes in this clutch were, he will not get off my wrist. I'm trying to get him to. Two of the snakes out of this clutch were males. I'm keeping the other one. And two of the snakes were females. The females were not hypo, but I did get lucky with them being visual pieds. I'm trying to work him off my wrist here. Give me 1 second. So they're going to be hypo because the mom was a hypo pied. I didn't test them for TSK or Black Xanthic because to me that wasn't very important. Specifically for this, and if I'm going to breathe them back into the project, I would have figured that out anyways. But I think I pretty much hit all of the genes, if not most of the genes, in all 4 of these snakes, the codoms. So this is one of the females, probably the less striking looking one of the two. Although she is still really cool looking. Let me get her here more in the light and back up my camera a little bit. She has a really cool dark head. So I think she's black-head leopard Mojave as well. Pied, head hypo, posset, Black Xanthic, or TSK, whatever you want to call it. So that male is going to be bred back to her. And so my other goal with this is to try to produce snakes that are even darker than that male, maybe to try to stop those saddles from lightening up a little bit from that Mojave. That gold tone in the male is from the Mojave gene, and it wasn't that vibrant when it was born, and it started to kind of come through a little more, lighten up as he got older. So this female, maybe, I could produce some like super black snakes, putting maybe a super blackhead hypopied out of it. So that's the one female, but let me show you the other female that's kind of the more striking of the two that I produced. Now I think, let's see, yeah, this one looks a lot nicer because she has a lot more pattern, and this is what I'd be looking at working into with the hypopied. Now look at her. Look how cool she looks. Now, you'll have to excuse this little scrape here. She eats live ASFs, and I don't know if when she was eating, if it scratched her with its nails or if it bit her. I think it was probably more of a scratching thing. Probably when she was squeezing it, she probably got those little scratch marks there. She has actually shed once since then, and it healed up, and it looks a lot better than it did before. So that's healing. But beside that, look how cool this snake looks when there's more pattern involved in it. And imagine if this is hypo. So think of the male that we showed at the top of the video, and think of her just being purple. I mean, she's like, this saddle here is pretty black. It's not all the way black, but it's pretty black. There's a little bit of the blushing here on this saddle. There's a little bit here. Even less here. This one's a little more of that Mojave color, but her head is pretty jet black. So what I'd like to do with this project is, if you can double up on the blackhead, get the hypo in there. Oh, even this tail is pretty dark too. Double up on the blackhead. Get a gene like Pinstripe or Enshi that brings back more pattern into the snake, as well as the hypo. Then I think that you're unlocking like something that's going to be otherworldly looking. Now, I'm not even interested initially in trying to work the Xanthic into this project because I don't know if wiping out the color is really going to do it any justice. I think the key with this is not having the Xanthic in it because I don't think you're going to get that purplish color if you do put the Xanthic in it. But I mean, I love her. She's just so cool looking. Probably my favorite just straight pied that I produced last year. So she's a sister of that male. So with this project, I think there are just so many different avenues you can take it. I may even breed him to a Pinstripe Enshi pied. It's going to take it a little longer to get anything out of that because she doesn't have hypo in her. But it's going to introduce two genes that pull a lot of pattern back in. And if I'm able to create a girl just like this one right here, but pull in more pattern and introduce darker genes the male has, that's a pretty intriguing combination in my opinion. So this project, I'm kind of looking at it as a whole new thing. I got lucky that male proved out to be het Xanthic as well, because that allows me to actually replace the dad. So the dad was just a triple het hypopied Xanthic, and now that male is a double visual hypopied and het Xanthic, that makes it a 66% better chances of hitting double visuals in any of those clutches that I produce with him. But I'm also looking, so I'm going to produce, I'm going to try to still hit those Xanthic hypopied animals, but with him specifically, because of what it's doing with those three genes in the hypopied, I'm looking at that hypopied project as kind of as something completely different, and maybe even working in the clown hypopies with those genes. It's just a whole new animal. It's not a project I really ever thought that I was going to be into, but because of getting lucky on that small 4-egg clutch last year when I bred the sire to that female that was just a hypopied, and hitting those males plus those two females, it just changed my whole opinion of the hypopied project. So I don't know what else to say about it. It's just one of those things that kind of shot to the top of my list. That actually last year, probably around Thanksgiving time, I even started to buy up some more hypopied females. And actually, Chimera had a bunch of snakes because they're big into that clown hypopied project that were hypopieds or clown hypopieds. So I bought, I think, 10 females from him at that time, and the majority of them were either hypopieds or in the clown hypopied project. I got a pin clown pied het hypo. I got a pin hypo double het clown pied. I got a pinstripe hypopied, and I got some other snakes that weren't. I got a pastel hypopied that was just another hypopied female. But so that's how much I'm really diving into this project because of where I'm trying to get it to go. So that male that is currently available, I don't know if you're gonna come across another one of those anytime soon, if ever. So it's not a cheap animal. It has a high sticker price, but I think it's well worth it. I'm very excited to start breeding that male soon. I'm actually going to start trying to pair that male with my two black Xanthic females that bred last year, because I think they laid, I think their clutches hatched in summer. So it's been over a year since they paired up with anybody, and he's not related to either one of those females either. So I think what I'm going to do is start pairing them up to them to try to produce some more black Xanthics with those genes. And that also guarantees me that all the babies, at the very worst, are triple hets. But at the best, they're going to be Xanthic double het hypopieds. So that makes, I don't have to worry about genetic testing and all with those babies. Hopefully I get better odds at hitting black exanthics, because I think I only hit 3 females last year. I only had 3 females last year that were visual black exanthic. I kept them all, but I'd like to produce more so that I have the ability to release some. And if I'm able to release some, they're also hypopides or head hypopides. It's more to go around for everybody. So I'm going to start testing him at breeding to them now. I'm going to start breeding him to the pinstripe hypopide, which is probably one of my favorite snakes. I got her from Chimera last year in that big deal, in the big sale. Let's get her out here. And she's not even very high pattern for pinstripe, but look how awesome she is. The colors on this snake are unbelievable. She is really one of my favorites. I love what pinstripe does in the hypopide project. So imagine putting that into the black-head leopard Mojave. Just outstanding animal. Really, really neat colors. It's like an orangey sunset, not like the Gene sunset, but like the sunset out in the sky on the beach. It kind of gives you that sort of a color to it. So that's what I'm trying to kind of weave into it next. I think they're going to make a good pairing. They're going to make me some pretty cool babies this year, hopefully. So that's where we're at. I just wanted to kind of reintroduce that project to everybody. I did post quite a bit about it when they hatched last year, which was in August, almost a year ago now. But I haven't really been posting a lot about them because I was waiting for that TSK black exanthic test to come out. And now that I have it and I was able to test for it again, and I found out one male is het and one isn't, now it's time to sell that one male. So that's where we're at. I hope you guys are as excited about this project as I am. I'm very excited to see what it brings this year for me in the following years. Hopefully a couple of those females are het exanthic as well, so maybe I have a shot at making them really cool triple visuals that have a couple codoms in them in that project. Whoever picks up that male is going to be a very happy person with every single penny they spend on it. And the fact that he's already ready to breed, and he's a one-of-a-kind animal. Again, I don't know if it's a world's first or not, because I didn't find any on Morph Market. I didn't find anything that looked like him on Morph Market. I haven't heard anything about it. So even if he's not a world's first, he's still a one-of-a-kind animal that's ever been put up for sale. So take a look, and if you have a lot of money to invest in a snake, he should be it. So thank you guys for tuning in today on Monday. Hopefully we get some more awesome content out this week, and we'll see you tomorrow.